Okay, so this took me a little bit of thinking to do because I own a bunch of these made-to-order games, and I kind of like them all. Aside from a couple that kind of fell flat for me, but that's what we're here to discuss. So right off the bat, I want to there's a game that I really can't discuss mainly because I have no one to play it with. And two of these games are two players. Um, I think is the one I'm holding two players? Yeah, two players. Um, honestly, so there's two games that I have that haven't really been able to play yet because they're two player games and I have no one to play them with. So I can't really mention them. So out of the two that I can't actually play, I'm going off on the rules, right? I'm going off on the quality, the rules, and what I call the bullshit factor. And I'll get into the bullshit factor more in the future. But right now, these two games, only one of them I've seen so far has a bullshit factor. Um, but we'll get into. So this one, now I'm gonna say this is the worst one I have so far. It's toss up. It's a toss up between Fur Pile and Pony Wars as the two of the worst games that I have. Now the reason why I would say actually this one's probably worse. So we'll discuss the why here, right? The Fur Pile game is a game where obviously I can't show you inside the box because there's a bunch of nudity. It's an adult game where look at that. It's an adult game where you essentially have to make matching sets for your ladies toys they like shit like that, and whoever has the most pairs or most sets at the end of the game wins. Now the problem with this is there's a card that allows you to win. Oh, I can't really show the card either because it's got nudity all over it, but it says play this card during your turn to end the game. You cannot play this card unless you have at least 20 cards in your victory pile, which means the only way to end the game, hold on, I can do this, is with the Sunrise card. Only way to win the game is with this one. Meaning, if you're the player that has the most cards in your victory pile, and you don't have the Sunrise card, your opponent doesn't have to ever play that card, so you can never win. So it's very unfair, and that's where the bullshit factor comes in. And that's why I put it lower than this one, which I also can't play because I don't have anyone to play with. But this game at least seems like there's quality involved, right? There's the art's better. There's actual mechanics involved, and I did find the rules on Discord. And apparently the community is still very, very active to this day, so that's good to know. I did actually get the expansions for these. It came in the mail a couple days ago, and I had to shove them into another game because I didn't have any room. Where are they? There they are. They're these, son of a bitch. They're these shiny boys. Look at these. Look at these nice foil cards. Very nice. So, because this game is still active, there's still a community behind it, and there's still a lot of care and attention put into the cards and, like, the descriptions of the cards. Focus. Thank you. It's obviously a better game than Fur Pile. But because I can't play this, and that's where the toss-up came into, because I can play Fur Pile. Like, I can play this. Everything I need to play the game is in this box. So I could theoretically play a two-player game by myself. I can't, however, play a two-player game of Pony Wars by myself. That's where the toss-up came in. Like, what do I give the points to here? Because, I mean, I can't play Pony Wars, but I didn't want to rank it lower than a game I actually don't like. That's the toss-up. So with those two out of the way, I would say quality-wise, Fur Pile loses and Pony Wars wins. So that's the order we're gonna put it in. So at the bottom of the list, Fur Pile, and then right above it, because quality and love and care and attention, Pony Wars. Now this might go up higher if I ever find someone to play with, but right now it's at the bottom because I can't play it. The next up on my list, and this is where we're gonna start getting into games that I like. Like I like all of these games, right? And this one I don't know where to place. Antares. I don't know where to place it. I'm just gonna place it right there. We'll get to that later. So next on my list is, I think it's the first game I ever bought on the Game Crafter. It's Quick Quest. Now I believe this game has been re-released with a different box, because this is from 2011 and it's got the shitty, like, cheap, like, let me just pull this thing out for you. Look at this. It's got this, like, styrofoam thing. It's very cheap feeling. But I have all the expansions and everything in here too. Like it's, there's a lot of stuff in there. But I have fond memories of playing this. I haven't played it in a while, mainly because I lost it and I couldn't find it for the longest time. But I dug it up recently, and memories came flooding back of glorious times. But because I do remember it being very tedious and kind of very, like, whatever. That's why it's at the bottom on my list, because compared to everything else, it's very good. See, this is why I want to rebuy the game, because for a better box, because this is shit. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. But here we go. At the third to last, Quick Quest. Now, who made this? I want to give credit where credit is due. Creation's Edge. Oh, there it is. Creation's Edge. Still a fun game. I recommend this for. So a lot of these games are single player games. So I recommend this one. This one's fun. But anyways, so that's the third to last. Now, oh, we're getting into the good stuff already. So next on my list. So this is number. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. So out of 14, this is number 11 on my list. Boom, Iron Helm. And this one has a big bullshit factor. But due to the, so that's why it's low on the list. But it is a game of pure quality. Like, let me pop open this sucker for you. I did buy all the expansions. As you can see, I have adventure packs up the butthole. I even have the fanny pack, which is great. The fanny pack. And I have all the adventure pack, all the add-ons, all the extra stuff, because I do like the game. And I also bought all the game mats for it. So this is a fun solo dungeon quest game. The only reason why it's so low on the list is because it's hard. It's really hard. I haven't beaten it once yet. And there's a lot of moments where you think you're doing well, and then one enemy will just annihilate your whole existence, and it just pisses you off entirely. So the bullshit factor drops it way down for me, but the quality is definitely there, and I highly recommend getting this thing. It is not cheap, and I do believe I am missing one expansion, and it's the treasure chest, but that thing's like fucking expensive as shit. I don't feel like spending money on it right now, but this is a game of pure quality. So number 10, right? No, did I say 11? Yeah, this we're still on 11. That's number 11. Number 10. It's a game I recently acquired. I believe I showed this off in the my haul video. Can I zoom out a little bit with this thing? Where's my zoom button? There's my levels of zoom. We'll go here. You can still see the chords and the whatever, but at least you can see the box. So the Lacuna Expanse, a new empire. So what makes this low on the list, below the other ones, first of all, the box is big, meaning that you are paying a lot of money for a box. And let me show you what's actually inside the box. Come on. Come on. That's in the box. You could have probably made the box smaller and saved on money, but Yeah. So again, this has another of the one of those bullshit factors where there's enemy ships in here that will destroy you because if it's not an enemy seeker or enemy whatever, if it's just an enemy ship, it gets added to the enemy ship like fleet, and you draw another card, which means if you shuffle poorly and there are 5 enemy ships back to back, you will be drawing all 5 at once, and it only takes about 6 to 8 for you to lose the game. And there's an enemy fleet card which counts as 3 ships. So the fact that the ships make you draw another enemy ship, and the mechanics of the game itself is kind of unclear when it comes to how you shoot them down. The bullshit factor and the lack of clarity on some of the rules lowers it, but it's still, again, these are all fun games, and I recommend checking them out if you get a chance. But this one's fun. You get to build a base, or it's essentially you build a colony, you and another player, up to 4 players. But you all work on building a space station, and once the space station is built, you win the game. So it's really fun, and every building you build gives you bonuses and stuff, and these help you keep track of your resources and everything. But it's a really fun game. I do have fun playing it. I just wish the bullshit factor wasn't there, which will be the case on a lot of these games. So number 10, number 10, the Lacuna Expanse, the New Empire. I do really like this box. I do wish it was smaller or there was more stuff in it, but it is still a cool box, and I appreciate the art. Number 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9 on the list. Hopefully I'm not missing one. Like there isn't a game hiding somewhere. That would be unfortunate. But these are the 14 games I have with me right now. Desolate. Another game that's got one of them bullshit factors, but not as bullshit as the other ones. That's why it's higher up on the list than Lacuna Expanse and Iron Helm. But this, speaking of Iron Helm, look, it's Iron Helm. And it's 4 tribes, which I want to get, but unfortunately it's a 2-player game, even though it's 4 tribes. And, yeah. I can't play that. But this is a fun game. It's got very similar mechanics to Iron Helm, and I believe this came out first. So Iron Helm, they reused kind of the mechanics for that game. But this one is better because I like the sci-fi setting. It's a bit fairer when it comes to the combat and the resolutions of the stuff. And it's just all around a really fun single player experience, and the Insurgents expansion, which this is, this has both the main game and the Insurgents expansion in it. But the Insurgents actually adds a 4-player mode, so now it's 1 to 4 players instead of just being 1 player. Because it used to be just 1, now it's 1 to 4, which is really cool. And this is a nice little compact, like this. See, this is the kind of thing I like. Look how they fill this box up with stuff. Look at that. This is a guy who knows how to fill the space. Not that Lacuna Expanse game, which has so much empty space inside. But this is just all around fun experience. Great rules. The mechanics are all easy to follow. The reason why it's so low on the list is the setup. It takes a lot to set up the game because there's a lot of pieces. And it's harder to win this game than the ones higher up on the list, making it a bit more frustrating when you get close to the end and then an alien kills you. Because it's one of those games where like the healing mechanic is a bit, the healing and the ammo tracker is a bit unfair in some cases. So that's why it's low on the list. But again, like everything else on this list, it is still a really, really fun game, and I highly recommend it. Links to all of these, I would say, are in the description down below, but I think YouTube's being a dick right now and not doing any external links for me. So go check it out in the Game Crafter. Just search it up. Just go in and search it. You know, take matters into your own hands for a change. Screw the links. So, number 8. Yeah, I keep forgetting what number I'm on, but I'm on number 8. This is another one I just got that I didn't have in the unboxing video. Zogar's Revenge, another Jason Glover game. This one is really cool. I like the box is flimsy, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Look at all these pieces. Bit overwhelming, so that's why I'm not going to dump them all out, because I don't want to pick them all up again. But essentially, you build a dungeon that's 5x5, like so, and you just go through the dungeon and you kill monsters, look through treasure chests, all while trying to get the crown, which is right here. Actually, that was easy to. God damn it, easy. It was easy. Oh, can I? Where's my zoom? Zoom. So the goal is to get the crown and get back out. So what you do is you set up the you set up your little dungeon in a 5x5 with lanterns on the 4 corners and the ladder in the middle. This is the entrance and the secret tomb for the crown. So your goal is to turn off all of the lanterns and make it to the entrance again and get the crown. Then you have to turn on all the lanterns again to get back to the exit. And the reason why, and here's essentially what a game looks like. And the reason why this is so low on the list is, or not higher up, because I do really enjoy it. But again, there's a lot of pieces, and it's very tedious with the amount of tile flipping you have to do. Very tedious. But hey, you know, it's part of the game. So if you're not into tile flipping, I recommend staying away from this game. However, if you don't mind a lot of tile flipping and you want a fun dungeon delving experience, I highly recommend this one. This is another fun one. Another Jason Glover game, just like Iron Helm and Desolate, and he's got one more on. He's got one more coming up too. Good old Jason Glover. Here we go. Zogar's Revenge. Pretty fun game. Now, number 7. My last Jason Glover game. Stonefire. A caveman tribal game with a hot lady on the construction booklet wearing a wolf hat. So this is the game where you need to take your tribe, go out hunting and taming of dinosaurs to kill the Allosaurus and another dinosaur in the clearing. And you have a set number of time to do it if you're a single player, or if you're, I guess if you're 2 players or more, it's infinite. But this is another fun one. It's very easy to win this. That's why it's kind of it's high up on the list, because it's doable and it's fun, but it's not higher up because it's kind of too easy in some cases. I managed to beat this game in 10 minutes. It all depends on the luck of the draw, really. But the mechanics are solid. It's just a fun, you build your tribe, you build your village, you go out hunting, and you kill dinosaurs, and you get eggs, and whatever. It's just fun. It's just kind of, it's very basic, very fun, very easy. But, it's only supposed to take a half an hour. So, go for it. This one's actually, he co-made this with someone named Calvin Nelson. Yeah, Calvin Nelson and Jason Glover. So good job, guys. This is another banger from the good old Mr. Glover here. Stonefire. And also it's got the nice book design that Desolate has. But there we go. Number 7, Stonefire. Now, number 6 it's the one that doesn't have a box. So it's kind of hard to show it off, but it's the Antares game. And this one there is a lot of setup, but and the only reason why this is low on the list is or lower than it should be is because of the setup. If there wasn't a lot of building of the ship and whatever, because you have to build the ship first with these cards. As long as as long as the area is connecting like this, you build the ship, and then you draw these cards, and these tell you where the alien's gonna hit. So there's an alien. So then you would draw the next card, and it would tell you. Another alien again. Another friggin' alien. There. It tells you what room the alien's in, and if you're in that room, then you're screwed unless you have a gun. So, very simple mechanics, very easy to understand rules. The only reason why it's low is because it's really easy to die, and the setup. But again, the more we go up on this list, the more I'm going to recommend the game. Obviously, that's how this works. That's how lists work. The higher up on the list, the better I think the game is. There. Boom. Antares. And there are, I think, 2 or 3 sequels to this game that continue the story, and they all come in these little bags. I kind of wish they didn't come in the bags, but I guess just to cut down on cost, so that's fine. But, I mean, there are barely any parts to it anyway, so the cost is low already. Now this is where it got hard for me. The next 5, well, the first one was easy for me, but the next 5, I went back and forth on where I wanted to put these, and I'm kind of happy where I am. So these next 4 I'm going to list are kind of interchangeable, but I'll explain why they're in the order they're in. So number 5 is Birdscaping, a game I just got, I think, was it 2 days ago? The reason why this is, well, let me show you why it's, first of all, high on the list. Then I'll explain why it's not higher. Look at this nice artwork of the birds. Now, the gameplay is very easy and fun, but again, there's some rules that I still find are a bit unclear, or that are a bit more complicated than need to be. And for example, you see how this guy must be placed in the middle section, which means he's only used for that sunflower, which means what purpose does this serve? Same thing with like this one. Like this guy is only suitable for the top layer, which means he's only good for the nests. So what good are these two? I don't understand how the rules like that work, and that's why it's low on the list, because the rules are a bit unclear and a bit confusing. But I did manage to play a few rounds of this somewhat successfully, and it's just a fun experience. It's kind of relaxing and chill. It's essentially like watching like bird watching. It's just relaxing and calm. So that's fun. So number 5, right here, Birdscaping by Joe Klipfel, who is I believe, coming up again very soon. Number 4, Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve. This is one of those games I had on the unboxing live stream where I looked at it and I went, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? It looks confusing as shit. But it's actually very, very simple. The reason why it's low on the list, lower, is because of this experience level crap. If it didn't have this experience thing, it'd be higher. But you essentially create a grid, or you create 3 rows of 4, and each row is a dungeon. The top 2 are player dungeons for player 1 and player 2. The middle dungeon is the game's dungeon, essentially. And your job is to flip over cards, and it'll say like this. Place 1 card from your cavern at the bottom of the depths. Take the top card of the depths. Switch 1 card from your cavern with 1 card from your opponent's cavern. So you're blindly switching and swapping cards with other dungeons, trying to get the highest points possible, which are on the top right corner of the cards, right up here. So it's a game about memory, luck, and just kind of like, you got to remember where the high score cards are when they get flipped around and shuffled, because you want all the higher cards on your side. So it's a very fun experience, but the experience mechanic kind of lowers it for me, making it more confusing than it needs to be. But it's still a fun game if you just ignore that entirely. And this is 1 to 2 players. I have fun playing with just myself. There are rules for 1 player in here. It turns player 2 into an AI, which it works really well, actually, surprisingly so. So anyways, that's Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve, number 4 on the list. Really fun, really quick to just pick up and get into. Number 3, Paper Bag Dungeon. I have the fondest memories of this. Actually, I lost this for a while, and then I found it in my card game box, luckily. But this is the game where, like, so you have all of these cards, and you build a dungeon and block off all the loose ends, and you win. And the entire time you're trying to prevent monsters from getting out. Now, the rules are pretty expansive, so I'm not going to get into them in this video, but there are a lot of rules, a lot of difficulty levels, but once you master the mechanics, this is one hell of an experience. The only reason why it's not higher up on the list is because there are a lot of rules, and if you step away from the game for like a few months or a couple of years like I did, and then you come back to it, it's like, oh, now I've got to relearn them all over again and relearn all the strategies. So there's a lot of rules, a lot of mechanics, but it is very fun. It's best played on the floor because you need all the space you can get. But very fun. Paper Bag Dungeon, very addictive. Very, very addictive. So, number 3. Boom. And number 2. Now, this one. Pocket Aquarium. Now, I have all of the, this is another one of those I had in the unboxing video. But there's my Pony Wars cards. I have all the expansions of this, which is the goldfish and the castle. And the way you play it, it's kind of like Itty Bitty Dungeon Delve, but you get to see what you're doing. So each fish has an ability to let you swap cards with another card. Like, that swaps either the top or bottom card with this card. That swaps this card with one of the corners. And it depends on which way it's facing, too. So if you look at it, it can go up, left, down, right, or up, right, down, left. So it all depends on which way it's facing. And your objective of the game is to create schools and shoals, specifically schools, to give you the most points. But it's very fun, very addictive, very easy to pick up and learn. Everything you need to know is on the cards. There's no special rules, no BS involved. It's very easy. It's very relaxing. It's very fun. There's zero bullshit factor. It's all about the luck of the draw and the risk and planning moves out ahead of time. So it's pretty much all on the player to try and get the highest score possible. But I do recommend this if you're looking for a quick little solitaire game, little fun solo experience. It's really, really interesting. Yeah. Pocket Aquarium. And number 1 is the game. This shouldn't be a shocker because it's the only one of these games I did a separate video for. But it's Dragons of Etchenstone. Still, after all of these games that I've played, none of them have been as addictive to me as this game. This game has taken over my goddamn life. I have played the hell out of this so many times. It's so much fun. It's very quick. The fact that it's all played in your hand and you don't need a tabletop to play it on, it just makes it more accessible. Like you can just play it. Like if you're in a car ride, like driving 2 hours to your grandma's house, or I guess technically riding in the car because you shouldn't do this while driving. But you can just take it out of your pocket and play it just in the car, in the passenger seat or whatever. It's just easy to get into. It's fun. The rules are very clear. I mean, the icons are referenced inside here, in case you forget what they do. But other than that, like it's great. This is a fun game. Um, that's why it's number one. Now there are some bullshit factors in here where there's a lot of times where I've gotten to the fourth region before the final dragon boss, just to get all my level 4 cards wiped out. So there is that problem with the game, but it's still fun overall, and the expansion with the mages make it really fun. Like, where is she? Where is she? Focus, damn you! I haven't learned how to use this camera yet, but it's supposed to be able to focus. There, her, that one right there. You can barely see her, but she has some really cool card abilities that have saved my ass in the past. So I highly recommend Dragon's Invention Stone as with everything else on this list. Let me know what you thought of these down in the comments. Have you played these yourself? What are your thoughts on them? I'm eager to know. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.